for this, this is a 10-inch round and I need about 2 pounds of fondant. Almost there. Once you have your fondant, you have to knead it because it's not really that pliable at this point. Just like you're making bread, you want to do this until it has almost an elastic substance or feel to it. And sometimes you'll get little hard pieces that you have to take out because you want a nice smooth finish. And I use cornstarch and just dust my table. And flatten it out like you're making a pizza. Just makes it easier to roll after. This process takes probably 10 to 15 minutes per tier. If you were dealing with real cake, you'd have to take the time to level your cakes and put the filling in and then trim the excess around the sides to make sure you have nice clean straight lines. We need a circle that's about 18 inches in diameter because we have 10 inches across and then 4 inches on each side. So you want to roll your fondant out probably about 1/4 of an inch in thickness. You can measure it if you'd like, but again, you just eyeball and roll it onto the pin. Now you have to smooth it. So I always start at the top and just go around the edges. You pull it's mostly flat. These are fondant smoothers and they're an invaluable tool for any cake decorator who's using fondant. This is a pizza cutter, again, fancy tool. I'm just cutting around the edge. I like to make a little bit of an edge around the top because it's typically just rounded here. Sometimes I'll leave it rounded depending on the look of the cake or the style. So once you're happy with it, you can stop smoothing. The design that we're doing today is kind of a diamond imprint, and this is an impression mat that you can get through any online cake supply. Even Michael's might have them. So we're going to put another imprint using this cutout, this fondant. What we're doing is just adding a bit more texture and dimension to the design. And typically with a real cake I would use more royal icing, but because these are foam I can just squirt a bit of water here and sit this one on top. You just make sure that it's in the center. And there you go. Now it's time to add the final details and touches to the cake. You can either use dots or fondant or ribbon, any sort of pattern. If I were using real cake, I would never stick pins into a real cake. I would just secure it with some royal icing, but I'm using styrofoam, so this is our bow. We're also going to, I'm just going to put it through the bow. Or actually no, I'm going to stick it in the cake. See if it goes in. There we go. So we could add more detailing. We could add those little silver dragées into the intersection of each dot, which would be really nice too. Give it a bit more sparkle. Or we could just put a little dot of royal icing in white to add even more texture. And then it can be topped off with a monogram or more flowers, or it can just be left like that.